essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an anemia, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I am going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name April 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Quasad Oxen, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. thanks to God for giving him this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sonships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time the seat of the universe. He's known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims in the Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, and many, many other Orisha gods. I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one Almighty God. And it is to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, those children of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are that lost 13th tribe, born here in North America, and that we are of a Nubian, Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient, but yet holy words of peace in the many different languages of our fathers, of Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Babarakani, Lafia, and Ashe. Welcome, welcome to Temple of Mercy Association, also known as the Tongue Nation. We are an all-inclusive Black conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the upliftment of Black people throughout the states and cities of North America. I am Brother Minister Rahim Kased Aten, founder of this great movement, co-founder, Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and the First Lady of this movement, Sister Makita Aisha Aten. Welcome, welcome to Tone. We today are going to talk about us, Black people, as the children of God, or shall we say as the chosen children of God, the true Israelites that the Bible speaks about, the true people who are symbolized as those people who followed Moses, who are hard-headed, easy to be led in the wrong direction and hard to be led in the right direction. A mule-like people, stubborn kind of people. And it sounds like us, but yet still the people of God. The title today of this lecture comes from a scripture in the Holy Bible in which Toma reads both Holy Bible and Holy Quran. The Holy Bible, 180 degrees, the knowledge and information of Almighty God. In the Holy Quran, another 180, which gives us the 360. So, the title of my lecture comes from Joshua in the Bible, chapter 24, verse 15. And it reads as follows. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, then choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood before Noah, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land that you now dwell. In other words, the God that this world served, or the God that our people served before the days of Noah. He said, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. In Toma, we say, as for us, or we in our house, we will serve the great mind. We will serve the God of this world. And we don't mean the God of this world of evil, but more so this world of good. So, in asking us to choose, why did God inspire me to choose that as my topic? Well, when I look in my mind's eye around the world, and I see the confusion that is going on in the world, and I see the chaos that's going on in the world, and some of the verses of the Bible and Holy Quran come into life right before our eyes. You know, it says somewhere in the Bible, people's hearts fail in them because of fear. I'm seeing that take place with a lot of people winding up with strokes and many different things. And then all other calamities going on in the Black community. We're in Chicago. Toma is in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago. And we're constantly bombarded with the violence among ourselves, gun violence and other little challenges that we have to address. And so I'm saying that if you choose whose side you're going to be on, are you going to go with the ways of the world and keep believing that politics is going to save you, and keep believing that the politicians are going to save you, or keep believing that being a Democrat or a Republican is going to save you from all of this mess? Then choose this day whom you will serve. But if you believe that all of this is in God's hands, if you believe that no matter which way it goes, if you choose righteousness, if you choose God or good, if you choose to take the path that was directed for us to take, which is to repent and to ask forgiveness and get on that road to righteousness, right thinking, right behavior, right character, then we know without a shadow of a doubt that whichever side you choose, then there is a war between the two. A war between good and evil. And so you have to choose sides, because you cannot continue to straddle the fence. If you straddle the fence, then it makes one side or the other have to choose where they're going to place you among them. Now, I want to read something else in 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. It's dealing with Elijah now, another prophet of God. And it says, Elijah came unto all the people, and he asked a question. He said, how long? How long? How much longer, y'all, with all this going on in Congress, fighting against each other, and everybody talking bad about our current president that they voted for, and everywhere you go on, there's nothing but chaos and confusion and mental health issues and all kinds of viruses and whatnot. And he says, how long are you going to be standing in the mid between two situations? Says, if God be God, if you know who God is, then follow him. That's what he said. And then he went on to say, the God that answers by fire, let him be the God. You all have to go there and read the rest of it. But I'm saying that it's time to pick sides. He said it was going to be a time of separation, separating the sheep from the goats. A time of separation where in Revelation it says, let the good be good still, and let the evil be evil still. He even says in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8, a double-minded man is unstable. We can look at that and see why, because number one, you either a double agent or you confused. You don't know whose side you're on. And when you have a double mind, you become like a Judas, because the enemy can tell, no matter which side you're on, that you are weak. And then they figure out then what is it that they can offer you to make you turn. See, whatever side you're going to be on, be the best one. If you choose evil, be the most evilest person that you can be. If you choose good, be the most righteous person that you can be. But when you straddle the fence, you find yourself going nowhere. When you straddle the fence, you find yourself in a situation where the police can make you a double agent, or the government can make you a double agent, or you could be in some organization and whatnot, just like with Fred Hampton of the Black Panthers here in Chicago had a double agent among them. That's that person that's dangerous in your movement, because he has a double mind. And it says a double-minded man is unstable. Did it say in some of his ways? But in all his ways. He can't make a decision. He's constantly in limbo. He don't know exactly what to do. One minute he's doing this, next minute he's doing that. His mouth says one thing, but his actions be something totally different. If you got some of those people around you, you need to think about it. And then in Revelations chapter 3, verse 5, he's talking to a church in a city called Laodicea. And he says to them, I know your works. This is God. He said that thou art neither cold nor hot. Listen at that. See, a lot of people don't believe the Bible or the Holy Quran, but yet they still chose a side. But then they're not even loyal to the side that they chose. So that's that unstable person. He says, but I'm not going to deal with that according to the Creator or according to God. He said, you ain't either cold or hot. He said, but I would rather that you were cold or hot, not in between, not warm, but picking a side. Because see, at one time in the future, we ain't gonna have time to see what side you on. We gonna choose for you. And 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna be chosen to be on the side of the person who's gonna make that choice for you. Because see, times is coming. We know civil war is coming. When? We don't know. No man knows the day or the hour. We know that not only civil war is coming, but we know that there's a world war that's coming. Whose side are you going to be on? Choose. When the draft starts again, choose. Which side you going to be on? Because you're going to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. It's time to stand up and choose. Who are you going to serve? See, I'd rather serve the one that has the power of life and death in his hand, that can take my life, my breath from me right now, and I fall straight out. And the only one that can revive me, that's the one that I serve. That's the one I choose. The one that as I speak right now, someone is being born into the world. As I speak right now, someone is just now being inseminated. And now the ovum is being formed and a child is being formulated in that person's womb. I serve that God that controls all of that. I chose whom I'm serving. And I'll be serving him until I die, until he takes this breath away from me. But he says here, but because you choose to be lukewarm, you choose to say, I'll sit on the sideline and watch both sides, and I'll just keep going with the winning team. And when the winning team ain't winning no more, I'll go with the other team. You got diehard Bears fans. You got diehard Cubs fans, loyal to their own. But then you got the one who, because he's lukewarm and because he really don't choose sides, because he's gambling for whichever one he think is going to win. So he's gambling for the one that he think will be in his best interest, where it might benefit him. So he's not loyal to no team. He's loyal to the money and what the possibility might be that he might win. That's the person you don't need around you. So he said, because then you are neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth. Now, there are some other translations where he says vomit. Now, you know nobody likes the vomit. I don't like it. I can't stand it. But here's, if you can't stand it, look at what the scenario is here, that a person or a God or God himself says, because you're neither hot nor cold, but yet you're lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out of my mouth. Yet you're undecided. At this day and time right now, I'll spew you out of my mouth. That you're still trying to make up your mind at this day and time, with all the natural disasters you see going on the planet, with all the plagues that you see plaguing the earth, with all of the stuff and people don't know who they believe in that's earthly or not, with all the new politicians fitting to run for office and just keep lying to us like they've been doing, mean well. Yeah, they mean well. With everybody trying to talk about Trump and whether he's a good president or a bad president or a right president or a wrong president, whether and then so I just heard today that he was impeached by the majority of Congress. And you think Trump worried about being impeached? Y'all must don't remember when y'all tried to do it before. He don't listen to you all. He don't listen to Congress. He don't listen to Supreme Court. He done bought all of them, him and all his billionaire group. They're all bought and paid for. So Trump gonna do what God sent him to do, whether you like it or not. See? So I chose to be on the side of God. I chose to promote the kingdom that God said is going to be right here on earth in the future. That's the one I promote. That's the kingdom that I'm under. I'm not under this eagle with one wing saying Democrat and the other wing saying Republican, all with the same head of the eagle. I'm not under that because, see, they can't save me. Not one of them can save me.
We keep raising up brothers and sisters who believe they can, but they won't and they can't. And so I just want to say that, and preferably I'll get a chance to talk to you, to show you and help you make up your mind as to whose side you're going to be on. Now I'll read a little bit of this in Galatians. It says, Galatians 5:13-26, brethren, talking to you, brothers and sisters, you've been called unto liberty. This call is to free you of all this chaos that's in your head. This call is to free you, not only just the external chaos, but the internal chaos that's going on. The things you see in the world, the weight of some of the challenges that you're dealing with, and you look and feel like you just can't take no more. Well, we're calling you to freedom. And once you free your mind and shows the side of God, which is peace, once you do that, it says, but don't use it, this freedom for an occasion to the flesh. But by love, you should serve one another. We ain't talking about just lust. See, people think lust and love is the same thing. But we're talking about love that don't have no conditions with it. Where you reach out and love thy neighbor as thyself for real. When you reach out and don't help somebody because you're looking for something in return. When you just know that you can just give a word that can make a person feel just a little bit better. See, them sides you got to choose. But if you're in it just for yourself, not gonna work. He said, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even this. What is that word? Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, but if you, it says, want to bite and devour one another, you want to talk about each other, you want to gossip about one another, the only person, in my opinion, who qualifies to talk and speak about someone is an individual, maybe I should say it this way, a righteous individual who has reached out and saw some things that wasn't right among the people that come under the sound of their voice. And they done reached out and tried to help. They done reached out and tried to give direction and give guidance. And it's not being received. And so they go to another person whom they can trust and say, I want to help so-and-so, but I done tried everything. You got any input you can give me? And he said, well, what's going on? And she said, what's going on? Well, this is going on. That's going on. Can you help me? Not to help me, but can you help me to help them? See, and Toma, that's how we were set up. That's the foundation of Toma. You come into this movement for me to help you to find God, and then for you to help me to find others. Because our goal is to connect you to the true Father, to connect you to the Father that Yeshua was talking about, to connect you to the Father that will give you a consciousness that we call Christ consciousness, that makes all this confusion go away and things become crystal clear, because he said, take my yoke upon you because my burden is light. With all this confusion, we don't have any part to be playing in all the confusion that's going on in the White House, with all the confusion that's going on in Congress, with all the confusion that's going on in the world. We don't have to be a part of it. How do you know the righteous? They walk the earth in humbleness. But if you're going to bite and devour one another, then you take heed that you be not consumed in the course of why you're doing it. He said, this I say, walk in the spirit, and you shouldn't fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. In the Moore Science Temple, they call it higher self and lower self. Being led by the lust of the flesh and the desires of the flesh and all the things that you feel that you are in control of when you're not. But instead of being led by the Spirit of God, instead of being led by the God that you place on your throne that sits on water. I know you don't understand that. Talking about your brain. Sits on water. But you can rule from there. See? Because if you walk in the Spirit, you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. But you got to be washed in that Spirit. You got to be studying. You got to be in the Word. You got to be teaching it. The flesh lusts against the Spirit. And these are contrary one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. See, got to put up a fight. If you led of the Spirit, you're not under the law. What do it mean? You mean you don't have to follow the 10 Commandments? No. It don't mean you don't have to follow the 10 Commandments, because Jesus said, I didn't come to change it. But what you do is you become the representative of what the 10 Commandments is about. You see, whatever the 10 Commandments is teaching, they should be able to look at you and see what the results is of living by those laws. That's what would happen if you were following those laws. He said, now the works of the flesh, that means your lower self, between the navel and down. The works of the flesh are adultery. We know what that is. Fornication, we know what that is. See, that's not being able to control your lower desires. And it causes you to be out of control. Uncleanness. And this is just some of them. There's a whole bunch of them in here. I'm just reading a few of them. Hatred, wrath. See, some of us are envious. Some of us got spiteful, got to get people back. But God said vengeance is his. That means you go on being righteous like you're supposed to and watch and see, don't the universal laws take care of that situation? But you got to believe it and know it. Envying. People envying someone because they feel like they're in a position they should be in, because they feel like that person got something that they can't have. And all you got to do is work. Says if a man don't work, he shouldn't eat. But if you work with your hands and do what you need to do, you will reap the benefits of the work. But if you're walking around doing nothing and making excuses, then you tell me what your next move gonna be eventually. You're gonna be stealing. You're gonna be robbing somebody. You can't even think about being righteous when you're hungry. But if you do the work that you're supposed to do, being under the Spirit of God, there's no way that God said he will let you be forsaken. He said, I never saw the righteous forsaken, or even his seed begging bread. God can't lie. So think about it. Envying someone, murdering. See, you don't have to just murder to take a physical life. You could murder somebody with your mouth. Talking so negative about them, cause them to go and commit suicide, or just talk so down upon them all the time. If it ain't trying to lift them up, if it ain't trying to help them be better, then you should go somewhere and think about what you're doing. Drunkenness. Somebody say, well, I don't get drunk. Okay. The drunkest person I know still don't think they get drunk. When you're not in your right mind, then you're out of order. Anything that takes you away from this reality and places you in another reality because you run from the truth that's right in front of your face, then you're in an altered state. And if that state is altered, then how can you be with God in another state? Think about that. Think about it. Now, the fruit of the Spirit is love. Love don't look for nothing in return. The fruit of the Spirit is joy. There's a church song say, I got joy like a river since the Lord has made a way. Another fruit of the Spirit is peace. Another one is gentleness, goodness, meekness, faith, temperance, patience. So it says, if we live in the Spirit, let us walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Another part of the Bible says, come out of her. Come out of her. Using the feminine pronoun her for America. Come out of her ways. Why? So you won't suffer her plagues. But we want to be a part of it because we think that America is our home. But according to the Bible, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Everywhere the black man and woman place their feet, it's really their home. The whole earth. Jesus' Father is our Father. Y'all don't get it. We running around worrying about what ICE is doing. This new military that's going around don't have any kind of restrictions on how they're supposed to handle our people or people in general. Just doing whatever they want to do. It's been even rumored that some of the ICE agents were some of those January 6 rioters that went down to the Capitol and rioted in January the 6th, and they were pardoned by Trump. I heard a lot of them got jobs as ICE agents, which is why they have their faces covered. I said it's been alleged now. You go and check it out. So now we know that there is war going on all over, in the Sudan, in the Congo, in Africa. We know that America bombed somewhere in Nigeria not too long ago. We know that America, as we speak right now, is bombing over in Iran. But we also know that Israel, with Netanyahu, is doing an act of genocide concerning the Palestinians. We also know that Russia is fighting in Ukraine. So everywhere we look, even in our own United States of America, internal wars, external wars, even in our own bodies, there's a war or fight. But yet, we still continue to don't know what side we want to choose or whose side we're going to be on. But I want to say here, because we read both Bible and Quran, Surah 29, verse 2 and 3 says, do men think that they'll be left alone on saying, we believe? So you pick a side to say you believe. He said, but do you think you're going to be left saying you believe and that you will not be tried, that you will not be tested? It said, we did test those before you. And God will certainly know those who are from those who are false. So do you think that you're not going to be tested? We're all going to be in positions where even the so-called atheist is going to call on God at a certain time. Don't even know who he is. Don't even know where he is. Refuse to understand that that spirit that we call God, this righteous entity, a lot of times manifests himself in the flesh. You all think it just came with Yeshua. No. God came to me in the person of my sister, even though he didn't stay there, but he came there long enough to tell her to come and tell me during that time when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis about a book called Back to Eden, Eden, that I had read when I was in the foster home. And she went and bought that book, and it's what saved my life today, because God came to me in the person of my sister. Now, do that mean I'm supposed to have her picture up in my house and be bowing down to her and all making her say that's God now? That's how I knew Mother Mary and all of that. Wake up, brothers and sisters. I understand that, what that means. God can come to you in the person of a child. And they can tell you something if you keep your ears open. God can come to you through nature. But you got to have the spiritual eye open in order to see. The footnotes to the Holy Quran in those two scriptures says, just regular lip service, professing your faith is not enough. It got to be tried, got to be tested concerning the turmoils of this life. The test will be applied in all kinds of circumstances, in individual life and in relation to the environment around us, to see whether we can strive constantly and put God above self. Much pain, much sorrow, self-sacrifice may be necessary. We all go through pain. We all have sorrow. There's always some sacrifice. But can you rise above it? Can you rise from it? God said he won't give you no more than you can bear. Evidently, he can't lie, but you lie to yourself and think you can't bear it. So you just want to wallow in it. You want to swim around in it. You want to have pity parties instead of getting up, being all that you can be while you in this flesh. What is your excuse? You came in the world alone, you're leaving alone. You're going to be in eternity longer than you'll be here. What all are you going to do? How many more excuses are you going to make? I've done over 1,000 funerals. I've officiated only a few, but I played in many. And that creator that I said I serve, I look at how he works. And the creator I served didn't care if that person believed in it or not. But there they lay. There's that urn over there with some dust in it. And they go and pull that out in the water or somewhere, and you don't see that body anymore. I know it's real because I know that body cold now. That vehicle is cold now. But did it do the best that it could while it was here? Did it get all out of the flesh, the body, the vehicle that it had to really truly offer? Was he able to take control of this vehicle and run it? Or did it run him or her? Just think about it. Think about it. Much pain, much sorrow, self-sacrifice might be necessary. Not because they are good in themselves, but because all of that would purify you. See, we get fire. All of us get tested by fire. But it's according to how you understand what this fire is in your life determines the outcome of how your life is going to be. See, some people say put a needle in the fire to purify it and get all the impurities out of it. But somewhere in the Bible, it talked about Lot and his wife. And somewhere in the Bible, it says that when these beings destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, that as he was leaving the city going forward, It said behind him was a fire of destruction, but before him was a fire of purification. How do you interpret your fire? How do you interpret your sorrow? How do you interpret your pain? Are you being purified? Or are you being destroyed? That, the Creator said, you can make that determination. Which one would it be? Choose you this day whom you will serve. Oh yeah, God's people get sick too. God's people lose people. God's people have sorrow. There's another church song that I've had many tears and sorrows. I've had questions for tomorrow. Sometimes I didn't even know right from wrong, but in every situation, God gave blessed confirmation. It says, through it all, listen to it. Through it all, that you can make it. But you got to know this. Surah 29, verse 56. Oh, my servants who believe, truly spacious is my earth in the Holy Quran. Therefore serve ye me and me alone. It's talking about all the excuses we make. Footnote says there's no excuse for anyone to plead that he could not do good. Ain't no excuse saying you couldn't do good or that you was forced to do evil because of your circumstances and your surroundings. You had no choice but to steal. You had no choice but to rob that person. All those excuses, he said, all by the fact that you're living in bad times or evil times. You got to shun evil and seek good. God's creation, check it out now, take care of your excuses. God's creation is wide enough to enable us to do that. How? Provided we have the will, we have the patience, and the constancy to do it. Constancy means you got to be consistent in what it is you're doing. It may be that we have to change our village. What's your excuse? It may be that we might have to change our city. It may be that we might have to change our country, or that we may have to change our neighbors, our associates. Maybe we might have to change our habits or our hours. That means readjust your time. We may have to change our position in life. We might have to change our human relationships or our calling. Our integrity before God is more important than any of these things. We must be prepared for exile in all these senses. For the means with which God provides us for his service are ample, and it is our own fault if we fail. Who said you have to stay in the condition you're in when he said the whole earth is his in the fulfillment of all of it? What's the excuse? Who said you have to stay in that house? Who said you have to stay on that job? Who said you have to stay in that city? Who says you have to stay in that country? Get up. Put one foot in front of the other. Stop sitting around with your head hanging down. Get up. Go forward. But I ain't got this and I ain't got that. And use what you got. Choose what you got. Choose you this day whom you gonna serve. Choose. It's that time now. You see what's going on in the world. Everybody confused. Everybody fighting. White people fighting white people. Black people fighting black people. Black people fighting white people. Look at it. No more revolutionaries among the black communities standing up for what we need to be fighting for. All this proliferation of guns and drugs in our community, that's what we're supposed to be fighting against. All these new liquor stores in our community, all the grocery stores closing down, and now nothing but wine and spirit stores rising up in our communities. That's what we're supposed to be fighting. No, but we down there in front of the ICE place fighting with the immigrants and others, fighting their fight. But where were they when we were fighting? I'm not against what they're doing. They're supposed to fight for their rights. During the month of January, we studied Gandhi, a man who stood up and fought for his people. And some of us get angry because they say he didn't like black people. Why should he? Why should he? He was sent to his people, not to us. That's what our problem is. We keep looking for somebody else to do for us what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves. He served as an example of how he helped his people to the same degree we should be helping our own. But we want to just always put some dirt on somebody's name instead of seeing the good that they did that could help us. And that's why we're in the condition that we're in, looking for this perfect individual. So now we study him like Martin Luther King did, dealing with nonviolence. But we got to take his prescription for nonviolence and Martin Luther King's prescription for nonviolence and use it among ourselves in our own community. All of that fighting and shooting and killing on the hill. All that stabbing and shooting in our communities over the weekend. All because of a people that's double-minded. All because of a people who've lost hope because they think that this particular government and this system is going to help them. It's going to be our savior. No. It saved yours day. Yeah, you're behind. Your knowledge of the Creator. Your submission to do his will. Yeah. Fellowship with those like yourself. So now while Trump doing God's will, how about you do it? Do God's will. Yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. The media itself don't even speak too much negative against him anymore. He's running around and you can't discipline what he can and can't do. He don't follow the Constitution. He don't care about you impeaching him. He don't care what you say about him. Here's what Black people should be doing, brothers and sisters, during this time. We need to be looking at our history here in America. And we need to be understanding who we are during these times. Because if we don't understand it, a lot of what's going on is going to come to a theater near us. See, ICE is getting ready to go door to door. I told you during the time of that plague that y'all called COVID, that they're going to test all of these different things on other people and see how we respond to it. And then they're going to come looking for us because they already know who we are. They already know whose we are. See, we think on such a mundane level, but half of the people who tells you who we truly are don't think that white people don't know what you know. They just try so hard to keep you from getting it out to the people. They know. They know who you are. They know that that which is on the bottom rises to the top one day. They know that they are at -0 population growth. And that it's more old people walking around among them than it is the young. They know that in order for them to remain supreme, that they got to diminish those who look like they're coming up, to remove them out of their way. Yes, they're doing what they're supposed to do. But are we? And while we sleep, the enemy comes in and sows tares among the wheat and goes his way. Yahshua himself came in and told us, ye are gods. children of the Most High. In the 80s, the CIA came in and flooded the communities, black communities, with crack. In the 90s, the FBI came in with 300 people, FBI agents that were on espionage missions in other countries and made them come into our communities, talking about fighting gang violence or gangs and drugs. But yet, under President Clinton, put out laws that helped fill up all the jails and prisons in the United States of America with us. Saying crazy crap like, if 3 or more black men are standing on a corner, that's against the law now. When they know our nature. They know that we stood on the corners in the 60s and 70s and sung. They know that we stood out and we shot craps on the ground, not hurting nobody. But then now they say, if you see 3 of us, we're going to be arrested. And so they filled the jails. And then they didn't separate brothers and sisters. See, I'm going to make you understand that you went to sleep on the war that we was fighting. They didn't separate the drug addict from the one selling the drugs. They both went into the same jail. They both went to the same prison. But brothers and sisters, the white people, let me tell it like it really is. When they got arrested for using the drugs, they went to a rehab. If you was with the white person that day, both of you all high as a kite, and they find the drugs on you, you went to jail, he went to rehab. I'm telling the truth. And lo and behold, they make marijuana legal on a state level, but make it illegal on a federal level so that the federal agents can choose who they're going to come down on. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm saying. I was in court one day with somebody when the brother said, I know that you all continue to bother me. I'm on probation. And you tell us we can't smoke marijuana. And we have to keep on being tested to see if it's in our system. But yet the state got it that it's legal. But here's the dynamic here. When I stand before you, it's illegal. You know, there's a song that came out years ago called Games People Play. Right or wrong, just can't imagine what they will do. Oh, yeah. Games people play. And these are the games that they playing on us right now while we sleep. Where are the true revolutionaries at? That's really gonna stand up against these agents who are flooding our community with the guns? Who are gonna stand up against those merchants who couldn't sell this same alcohol in their own country, but they'll sell it to us? Where are you? Why are the churches and the preachers mute to what's really going on with all these missing children being trafficked? Why aren't they saying anything? Why aren't they speaking out against these wine and spirit stores? I know what I'm saying. No, because they silenced you. They got you fighting for political positions. Yeah, they flooded our community with crack. And then in the 90s, started arresting everybody. And then they turned around and said it was illegal to just round up all of these people like you all were doing. See, this type of system is not a criminal justice system, brothers and sisters. But for us, it's a just us criminal system. I'm telling you the truth. But you went to sleep. You go to court and you see all these injustices happening to us as a people as you just sit in the courtroom. And they're constantly making new laws to make it even harder for you to try to be right. Brothers and sisters, if we don't stand up and come together and get back into our revolutionary mind, that's why I love Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. He's still holding up the bloodstained banner while the others done fell by the wayside. Yes, we still got the Nation of Islam, a black nationalist movement that we can look at as a model. But they basically got rid of most of the nationalist people, most of the revolutionaries, and we don't went to sleep right in our own community. We sat back, instead of taking back our community, we watching people take over our community. And we talk about it, we whisper about it. Instead of do for self, we think we supposed to do for others and get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go out and create a job. You want to go out and look for a job. Temple of Mercy believe in black power, the power to define, the power to defend. Well, I said it backwards, I'm gonna say it right. The power to define, the power to develop, and the power to defend that which is in the best interest of our people. And that's what we stand on, and that's what we stand for under God. No matter what you say, that's what we stand on. And so what happened? Why ain't the preacher speaking about what I just mentioned? Why aren't they truly digging deep down and finding out where is the root of all of what's going on in our communities? Why aren't they putting together teams in their church? They said they holding up the bloodstained banner, soldiers in the army. Why can't they come together and hit those L's in certain shifts whereby they can reduce the violence that's going on in those L's or on those L's? Now they want to sit down because they've been put to sleep like you feed a dog that's hungry. They done folded up in the corner with them damn grants. That's why they can't fight the blood-stained banner no more. I know what I'm saying. And I know people get mad at me when I say it. But you're living off of some damn grants, and it's similar to a dog being thrown a damn bone. Yeah, you went to sleep. And I don't see nobody out here right now doing something that I want to be a part of. You want to get with me? Then study Marcus Garvey. You want to get with me? Then study the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Then you'll know where I stand. Then you'll know what I'm on. You want to get with me? Then study some books that will raise your consciousness to a level to where when Yahshua said, ye are gods. In the book of John, chapter 10, verse 34, Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law that I said ye are gods? How about reading some stuff that'll help you rise up to the level of this God that he said you are, but yet children of the Most High God, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16 to 19. Know ye not? Say, don't you know that you are the temple of God? In other scriptures, it say a house made without hands. What house is that? Every other house you know is made with hands. What house could he be talking about that's made without hands but this temple right here? Don't you know that you're the temple of God? The word temple means a house dedicated to the service of God. Don't you know that the Spirit of God dwells in you? But you got to go in to bring him up, out of you. It says, if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. Why? For the temple of God is holy. Which temple you are? It's holy. In Psalms it says, chapter 82, verse 6, it says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Bible Toma call themselves all-inclusive and then black conscious. Because we know our people that God sent us to. I enter all these different persuasions because we don't know who the hell we are. So we try to latch on to something to become something. Almost like that story in one of those little children's books where this duck was walking around saying, are you my mother? And that's what we're saying. Is this my culture? Is this my religion? Are you who I'm supposed to be? Who am I? You're God, children of the Most High. Lift up your consciousness. Raise it up to black consciousness, which is Christ consciousness. One day I'll explain that to you. 2 Corinthians verse 6, chapter 6, verse 16. What agreement has the temple of God with idols? Yeah, idolizing money, idolizing material things, idolizing your spouse, idolizing celebrities. What agreement has the temple of God? What agreement do you have? What's the covenant? What's contract that you sign with these things that you idolize? What contract did you sign with those things that you are addicted to because you think you in control now and you're not? For you are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them, your temples, and I'll walk in them, and I'll be their God, and they shall be my people. In 1968, April 4th, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, I was 10 years old. My mother used to make me stand in the front room when company came over and recite the I Have a Dream speech. And I used to think I was Martin Luther King reciting that speech. And my aunties and uncles clapped. I saw everybody crying on that day when he was shot. I didn't understand what that was about. But he was a revolutionary. I don't get caught up in whether it was civil rights or whatever rights it was. He was a revolutionary. Gandhi was a revolutionary. Kwame Nkrumah was a revolutionary. We have a revolutionary right now. Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, revolutionary. Our chairman, Fred Hampton Jr., revolutionary. I stand with the revolutionaries. I stand with the black nationalists. I stand under God, the Creator, and all his righteousness, because I know then all things shall be added. Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, Toma, we gonna serve the Creator, the great mind, the Lord of the worlds, the universe. I leave you in peace. Hotep Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. by God, Lafayette, and I say black power, black power.
Worship service. We invite you and your family to join us live every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street at our new time from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. and on Facebook from 12:30 to 1 p.m. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, please feel free to support us with a monetary gift on Cash App at $TOMANATION. Once again, that's $TOMANATION. This will conclude our live stream. The message you have been listening to will continue live here at the Toma headquarters. We thank you, Black family. See you next Sunday. Black Power.
This is the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.